video is to demonstrate accepted routine husbandry practices in camelids. If you cannot perform these procedures safely or humanely on your own animals, or you are concerned about performing these procedures correctly and without injury to your animals or yourself, we recommend that you consult a veterinarian for assistance. In the United States, it is unlawful to offer professional veterinary services without a license. Generally, the state's Veterinary Medical Licensing Board enforces the state's code regarding the practice of veterinary medicine. Questions about this should be directed to your own state's licensing board or your veterinarian.
The purpose of this video is to show the importance of a properly fitting halter on camelids in both llamas and alpacas, and what constitutes a proper fit combined with the type of halter that may work best. A properly fit halter is essential to the health and well-being of your camelid. A halter that is fit too low on the nose can even break the cartilage in the nose, and your camelid will have a difficult time breathing. The other thing that I might mention is that it is never wise to leave a halter on your llama or alpaca when you're not actively working with them. In fact, it may be a matter of laziness in taking it off and recatching and rehaltering. There have been many instances of injuries to camelids with halters left on. They can get caught on a fence. If they tussle with another llama, it can be an injury instigator, if you will. The other factor is that training a llama to easily accept a halter should be part of the training regimen of every farm or ranch. The importance of having a proper fitting halter is perhaps not appreciated by many owners and breeders. If a halter does not fit properly, it is not comfortable for the animal, and the alpaca or the llama is more difficult to manage on a lead rope. And thus it is important, although I suspect many people do not realize the importance of the proper fit. Here is an example of an ill-fitting halter on a llama. You notice a nose piece is too far forward on the nose. It should be closer up under the eyes. It is not tight enough on the bottom. You've got about 2 fingers instead of 1. It slides down on the neck rather than staying up behind the ears. And one of the primary problems of this halter, and something for everybody to look for, the cheek pieces on a camelid should be shorter. If the halter is selected with a shorter cheek piece, they will fit better or properly. What we have here is a number of examples of different brands or different types of halters. The first thing we should note is that most alpaca and llama farms or ranches almost have to have 3 sizes at least, and perhaps 4, different sizes of halters to properly fit the different size animals. There we have a small, there we have a medium, and then here we have a large. These, of course, are also different types of halters. You notice this particular halter, and by the way, this is a very stiff nylon halter. It would be really uncomfortable on an animal. But this particular halter is your basic halter with a nose band, 1 single piece going underneath the chin, and a headband, and of course the cheek piece. Follow that up with one that has a unique twist in the fact that it has a buckle to adjust the size of the nose piece. Now in concept, this may sound good, but and I have tried these, once they're on an animal, the buckle gets in the way of the ring, and they are very cumbersome, and I do not believe them to be real comfortable on the animal. Now back to the small nylon halter. This is your standard basic halter. The key in fitting a non-adjustable standard halter is the proper size nose piece to fit high on the nose, right under the eye, and then it should have a relatively short cheek piece to fit properly. As we go up the line then, we have a braided nylon, if you will. And again, the difference between this one is it has a fixed ring. There's an additional piece of nylon sewn in here, so the ring is fixed. This is convenient for training purposes. It'll help you manage the animal if fit properly. But again, the size has to be right to fit high on the nose, and the head strap to be right behind the ears. We then have a different type of braided halter. This perhaps is fancier, perhaps more of a show, but you saw this on the llama in the film, and it did not fit properly, primarily because of the long cheek piece. The nose piece was big enough for this particular llama, but the cheek piece was so long, it let the front of the halter slide down. Which, when that happens, the head piece also tends to slide down lower behind the ears, and again, an improper fit. Here we have two halters that are leather halters. They are unique in several ways. One, it is a cross bar halter. You notice the two pieces are continuous and crossed from the nose piece back to the ring, but the cheek pieces are short. The second thing that happens with this one is the cheek piece will swivel, so that as you make it smaller, the cheek piece will self-adjust, the nose piece gets smaller, and it thus fits high on the nose and properly behind the ears. There is a large size of that halter too, which, in addition to working as the other one was designed to work, it has two buckles on the continuous X band that goes around the nose, making it very adjustable. And this too has a rivet in here which lets this slide, and this halter, when these buckles are in the smallest hole on each side, and it is adjusted to the smallest neck piece hole, actually becomes smaller than the biggest setting on this one. This type of halter will let the average owner or breeder stock two halters in their barn and adjust those to fit properly, making the halter selection much easier. In this particular halter, it is unique in the nose piece, and this is the nose piece, has an adjustable buckle so that it can be made larger or smaller for different shaped heads and larger or smaller heads. And to follow that point, this is the cheek piece, and this is the headband. Now, a point to be made about this buckle is, although the idea is clever, it is cumbersome. That buckle gets caught on the ring. The ring is not centered on the bottom of this nose piece, and it just ends up being a cumbersome halter for the animal. Here is a large alpaca halter with several features that we have not discussed before. First, it has a snap with an adjustable headband. Second, both the nose piece on the bottom and the cheek piece, which is continuous on this halter, have adjustable buckles, letting you size it for different shapes and size of a head for proper fit. The buckle, or pardon me, not the buckle, the snap is not recommended because they tend to unhook themselves, open up, and then the animal loses the halter. The buckles on the nose piece, the sliding buckles on the nose piece and the cheek piece are again good in concept, but it is very difficult to keep them adjusted in one setting. They will slide on you, and the next thing you know, the halter is not fitting properly. Here we have an alpaca with a different type of halter. This is a solid fitting nose piece. In this case, it fits properly. It is, if you can see his eyes, it is up high on the nose. The strap is up behind his ears. There is about a finger's width below the jaw, which is proper. This again has the cross straps which help adjust the llama or adjust the halter properly. So this is a proper fitting halter on an alpaca, and you'll notice the alpaca face being shorter than the llama face that we talked elsewhere in this video. The other key factor is to have the top piece of the halter up right on the back of the ears rather than down lower on the neck. You see many alpacas and llamas both with a halter that fits down here, and it is simply an ill-fitting halter, uncomfortable, and not a well-managed halter from a leading or fitting point of view. The other unique feature about this particular halter, and there are other similar ones, is this cheek piece actually swivels through the rivet on the nose piece, which allows it to ride high on the nose and self-adjust for a different shape of a head of either a llama or an alpaca. In addition, it does have the cross pieces as compared to a fixed piece, which again helps it adjust properly for different shapes of a head. The other comment I should make, we often see these heavy horse leads on alpacas and llamas. They really are too heavy to be comfortable for a camelid, and a much lighter lead, usually specifically made for a camelid, should be used. I might also mention this lead rope is a lightweight lead rope typically used with camelids. It does not have the weight that tends to weigh down the head, and animals are just much more comfortable, much more comfortable with this type of lead than the heavier lead. This one on my right is a smaller lead, commonly used with llamas and alpacas. It's much lighter in weight and more comfortable for the animal, and thus they will handle better whether in training around the farm or in a show ring.